What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to another episode of your potentially favorite Nigerian podcast. Bear with me, your host, General Prime. I hope everybody's chilling, getting ready for World War III, even though it feels like it's kind of subsided at this point. I think I saw a post where Trump made a post where he was talking about how he has succeeded in making the two parties involved, that is Israel and Iran, to kind of like cease fire and come to some kind of terms on how to go about their issues of, misunderstanding and whatever bullshit it is that is making them hostile towards each other. So it seems like yet again, you know how they keep teasing us with World War III and something comes up and it feels like, oh, this is it. This is what is going to cause World War III. So it seems like thankfully, yet again, World War III has been evaded. But that doesn't mean that the problems that we are going through in this world has suddenly disappeared or dissolved or has been resolved. It feels like things are, the world has changed. Like the world has changed. When we're younger, I used to think actually personally that, when I grow up, when I'm older, I just had this mindset that the way things were back then will be the way things will be. Like we all had this, I don't even know if I can call it delusion, that by 25 you're supposed to have been married, with a kid and a job and a house, 2 cars, just like this ideal lifestyle, the ideal life to be lived. But the reality of things is that it's not like that. The world has changed drastically. The world has changed the world has changed exponentially. Things have changed. Nothing is recognizable again. It kind of feels like we're now living in a dystopian future. I know how they always try to portray dystopian, like in movies, when they try to portray dystopian futures as things that, as like environments where everything is just so dark and bleak and sordid and everybody's depressed and it's always raining and it's always gloomy. And everybody's, and maybe there's usually hints of advanced technology scattered or littered or kind of like hinted at here and there, maybe with like their gadgets and stuff, or like flying cars and their architecture, just those kind of things to portray that, oh, this is the distant future, but a bleak one, a dystopian one that, it's difficult to survive in, it's hell to live in, most people are unhappy, most people are dreaded, everybody is just demoralized, everybody is just feeling like in those kind of movies, like for example in what is the name of this movie? I always forget the name of the movie, the one with Ryan Gosling, right? What is the name of the movie again? Blade Runner. I always forget the name of the movie, Blade Runner 2049. So, how in the movie, how, technology is kind of portrayed, it's not, as in, it's technologically advanced, but it still has this analog kind of feeling to it. It still has this realistic kind of feeling to it. So, the point I'm trying to make basically is that, that's the kind of world we seem to be living in right now, where there is a mixture of the past and the present. There's a mixture of like technology, like advanced technology, and just normal everyday mundanity. I don't even know if that's the word, but at the same time technology is kind of taking over. At the same time people are feeling demoralized. It feels to me personally, what I feel like is that the Illuminati, as in, if I don't know if anybody can remember the Illuminati, I don't know if you can remember the Illuminati, man. They've won. Like the plan, the whatever it is, the plan that they made back then, the promise that they made that they're going to take over the world and going to like take over the world as we understand it to be today. I think that's kind of been that has kind of been achieved, because if you look at, as in, I've always felt like recently, like lately, I've been feeling like there's something inherently wrong with our reality. There's there is something wrong with the world that I just cannot place my hand on like perfectly to really pinpoint and say that this is what is actually going on that is wrong with the world today. But I just have this feeling. I can sense it. I don't know if anybody else can sense it, but personally I can sense that there's something wrong with the world. It feels like the people, the powers that be, the people in charge, like the world governments and all these like politicians and corporations and all of this stuff, it feels to me like they've actually kind of won. Do you understand? The human mind is malleable. The human beings in general, we are very malleable. We are very easy to control. We are very easy to manipulate. We are very easy to coerce. We are very easy to scam. You understand? You know, like I always joke about how Nigerians we like forming like we are street smart. We like to claim that we are street smart, that nobody can cheat us. You know, we have this saying in Nigeria, like you have to open your eyes wide so that nobody will cheat you. But at the end of the day, Nigerians are very easy to cheat. Nigerians are very easy to scam. They are very gullible. They are very malleable. But the truth of the matter is that so is everybody else in the world. Do you understand? Sometimes I see people falling for scams that I ask myself, like, why didn't you see that from like 10,000 miles away that this is an actual scam? You understand? Like when I see, like, for example, when I see YouTubers being sponsored by companies that are clearly scams, and I'm like, but this, as in, like, you're supposed to understand, you're a smart person. Like, you're supposed to be a smart person. Like most of these smart YouTubers that, you know, make content about like technology, or maybe YouTubers that talk about the news or history or any of those, or cars. Like, these are people that, you know, are supposed to be smart. But then they keep falling for all these scams, and I'm like, are you not? And then I'm sitting and I'm watching and I'm listening to them say all this bullshit, like read out all these like their sponsored ads, and I'm like, can you not tell that this is a scam? And then months later, when the apparent truth becomes apparent, and everybody finds out that, oh, this honey is a scam, or fucking, I cannot even remember most of the stuff that they always like, you know. But the point I'm trying to make at the end of the day is that we human beings, we are malleable. You understand? We are like apes that have been given like technology that is so advanced that we ourselves don't even understand it, but we don't have any choice but to use it because it has taken over our lives. Like, it has overshadowed our lives. It has taken over everything that we know how to do. When was the last time you memorized a phone number? That is it. A lot of people don't even know their own phone numbers. Do you understand? A lot of people don't even know their own phone numbers because our phones have taken completely over our lives. Like, it's very difficult these days. I was actually thinking of it the other day. It's very difficult these days for somebody to leave their house without their phones, because our phones, we are cyborgs in some sense, in the sense that we cannot do without our phones. Our phones are appendages that if we lose, we are literally going to feel pain. Like, if somebody loses their phone, right, and you scan that person's brain, the same kind of like brain waves that gets registered when they feel actual physical pain is the same brain wave that you're going to see in the brain of somebody that loses their phone, because our phones have become so essentially part of our lives that it's essentially suicide to lose your phone. If you're not with your phone, you won't know what day it is actually. You won't know what the time is. You won't know what is going on around you. You won't know what is happening in the news. You won't know, like, you won't know the weather or anything. Like, if you're not with your phone, there is so much that you miss. If you're not with your phone, you're not going to this is how fucked up our reality. This is how dystopian our reality has become. We are so connected digitally, but we are so lonely. We are so, disconnected physically. people used to in the past, like in the 90s, in the 80s, people used to go about talking to each other. People used to hang out in bars. People used to like go out to the beach and talk to each other. Like there used to be this human connection. Like human connection was at its highest, was at its best in the 90s, in the 80s. But these days, everybody is just like, nobody knows their neighbor anymore. Nobody talks to each other anymore. I mean, it still happens, but it's dwindling. Like it happens. I'm not saying that nobody thought, like everybody has just suddenly become so, reclusive, or everybody has just become so reticent and as in just by themselves. No, people still go out and talk to each other, but it's becoming rarer. Do you understand? It's something that is kind of like fading away. It's a habit. It's a human character, or it's a human trait that is gradually fading away. People no longer talk to themselves anyway. The only way that people can be able to meet each other is by maybe Discord or fucking all these dating apps, or online, or Instagram or Twitter. This is where people have the most interactions. This is where people have the most conversations. This is where the people meet other people, and it takes away the humanity aspect of it. It takes away the natural aspect of looking into somebody's eyes, of connecting with somebody, physically, of talking to somebody physically. And it's doing a lot of damage to us. And the worst part of it is that there is no solution to this problem. There's absolutely, I cannot look into this situation. I cannot look into this problem and try to like cook up or come up with a solution that is not only going to help, but it's realistic. You understand? This phone technology has captured everybody. Everybody is a doom scroller, regardless of how what do they call it, productive that most of these influencers claim to be, regardless of how macho or out of their, like, everybody has become a doom scroller, and it's sad. It's so fucking sad, man. There is nothing, like, I don't see a way out of this situation. I don't see a way out, and that's why I say that the powers that be have won. Like, they get this technology. This technology is not supposed to be something that we have, like, human beings, like the collective understanding of what it means to be a human being is too young to have this kind of advanced technology. It's like giving a baby a gun. You understand? It's going to hurt the baby. It's going to hurt somebody. So we're not supposed to have this kind of technology, at least not now. Do you understand? I've said before that, they keep bringing new phones every fucking year. Like they just keep dripping us with, like, they just keep giving us droplets of new technology. But in the grand scheme of things, the phones are still the same. Even though the technology is increasing, like, the phones are still, like, basically the same. But wouldn't it have been better if phones didn't come out every single year? Like, wouldn't it have been better if, like, for example, phones came out, like, new phones came out every 5 years? That would mean that maybe by now we'd still be using iPhone, let me say iPhone 5 or iPhone 6. Like, the phones we'll be using would still be like iPhone 5 or iPhone 6, but with iPhone 16 technology. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, or cars, or, like, most of the technologies that we have today, they just keep, like, pushing them out. And it makes me feel like, how they make movies, and they push movies out. Like, for example, you go on YouTube and you see that, oh, there is this new movie that came out. There's a trailer of this new movie that came out, and you're like, okay, let me give you a perfect example. What is this his fucking name? Pedro Pascal. You know how Pedro Pascal is in literally everything, right? He's literally in everything. And then you ask yourself, like, when does this nigga have time to rest? Or when does he have time to sleep? Or when does he have time to, like, have chill with his family? I know that there's this controversy concerning his family, that his dad was, like, I don't know. I don't want to go into it, but if you can go online and check it for yourself, you see that, oh, this person is not the sweetheart or the darling that everybody thinks he is. But the fact that he's always, like, he's in every single movie that is coming out. Like, yes, I know that he has been working for a very long time and he hasn't gotten any recognition or any accolades, and he's just recently starting to get recognition, and he's just recently started to get, like, a lot of good roles, and he's taking like the optimum advantage of it. Like, I'm not going to like fault him for that, right? But the fact still remains that he's in everything. Like, he's in our faces all the fucking time. And most people are having this Pedro Pascal fatigue, and then it just feels like it's easy to make movies. Do you understand? Like, the fact that he's in everything kind of makes it feel like it's easy to make movies. So that, but then again, you see that because it has become so effortless, and technology has made it so effortless and so easy to make movies, you see that most movies are just uncreative. Most movies are just bland. You see a movie, you watch a trailer for a movie and you're not inspired, you're not excited for it because it's just meh. You understand? Like, there's nothing there, there's nothing exciting there, there is no story there, there is no soul behind it, there is no creativity behind it. So I feel like that is just the same thing with the technologies that we have today. Even though the technologies that we have today are so convenient, and they make life easy, and they make things like just easy for us and effortless, there is no creativity behind it. Everything has become so, as in, mathematical. Everything has become so precise, and everything has become so, pinpointing, and there's no space for actual creativity. You look at the cars that are coming out today. I mean, you look at cars that are coming out today, right? Most cars share parts from different companies. Like, most cars share engines, they share like components, they share electronics, they share like screens and stuff, and headlights, and like there's no nobody is creating, there's no originality anymore. That's the point I'm trying to make. There's no originality. Everything has become so, everything has become so bland and stale and insipid. No creative. Most cars that are coming out, that are coming out today, most of them have three colors: either white, or silver, or black, or gray. Like, that's just how bland everything has become. Same thing with phones. Like, phones coming out every single year with the same technology, or with like just the same thing. Like, there's nothing fulfilling anymore. This is the kind of world that we find ourselves living in. There's nothing fulfilling anymore. It's not like, there's nothing fulfilling in the sense that everybody is just trying to survive. Everybody is just trying to, in the actual realistic sense of it, everybody's just trying to survive, because not everybody has the means to splash. But at the same time, again, like, I'm trying to be as coherent as possible. I'm trying to make everybody follow me and try to understand what I'm trying to say, right? At the same time, because nothing is fulfilling, everybody has taken up this consumerist mindset, where because nothing is fulfilling anymore, they try to gather as much things to try to fill up that emptiness that they have in their lives. You understand? Because we're now living in this dystopian world, even though it doesn't feel as dystopian as the sci-fi movies make it out to be, our world is still kind of dystopian. But even though it doesn't look that way, right? It's still a dystopian world regardless. And everybody, like, most people are not happy. Most people are lonely. There's this new phrase that is going on in the zeitgeist now called the loneliness epidemic, where a lot of young men are like lonely. Nobody's talking to them. Nobody bats an eye at them. Like, everybody is just like kind of dying inside. Everybody's locked in. Everybody's dying in silence. Everybody is just depressed. There is no, the gap between nature and technology has become so vast that we don't even, for us to go back to nature, for us to go back to our natural selves, for us to like get back in touch with nature, it's so impossible that we even come up with, parodies of it. You see people saying that they want to go on nature, they want to go on retreats. You see people like going on in the woods to try to like, for hiking. But that's not what being part of nature is. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, after you go on your hike, after you go to the woods for your picnic and stuff, you still go back to your concrete jungle. You still go back to your square your box of your concrete box prison, where you glue yourself to your fucking TV or your phone or your laptop or whatever, and then you get enchanted by whatever. Like if an invisible alien can just like look into the life of an average young person today, and maybe this alien does not even understand the technology that we have. Like it cannot even comprehend the technology that we have. Its job is just to observe what we are doing. The alien will see that we're just staring at this black box for a significant amount of time. And it's going to interpret that as us being just enchanted by this magical black box that takes our time and gives us dopamine and makes us happy with dog videos and cat videos and whatever it is that is happening online in our world, and also gives us anxiety and fear because of the wars that are threatening to happen, people losing their jobs, people losing their homes, people losing their lives, like all the nonsense that's going on in the world, all the craziness that's going on in this fucking world, man. The alien is going to, if the mission of the alien was to like come to this earth and observe what is happening on this earth, to know if they can, like the Sancti from Three Body Problem, if they can come here and cohabit with us and live together, the alien will go back and say that this is not a place that is ideal for them, because it doesn't look like the life forms here have life in them. It doesn't look like they're happy. It doesn't look like they are prospective. It doesn't look like things are going to go well for them. It doesn't feel like the way things are going right now, right? It doesn't feel like life is going to be worth living in like in 5 years time, in 15 years time, in 20 years time. Technology is going to continue to encroach and take over more and more aspects of our lives, to the point where we will no longer become humans again. Like it's not some like and what I feel again, another point I want to make is that this might be evolution in progress. Do you understand? It might not be, how we always think that, like for example, Christians always ask the question that if we are products of evolution, why is it that we are no longer evolving? And the truth of the matter is, and they always think that evolution is like something that happens quickly, or evolution is something that when it happens to you, you're going to look like, I don't know, you're going to have blue skin, or you're just going to look different or something like that. But that's not how it works. Evolution works in ways that we cannot even begin to try to comprehend or understand. It's its own thing. Do you understand? Like evolution is its own thing. So maybe all this that is happening to us right now is just evolution in motion. Who knows? Like I cannot tell. But it's not good. Do you understand? It's not good, because the powers that be have completely won. Like the line between poverty and wealth now, and what I mean by wealth is like fucking BlackRock kind of wealth, like Elon Musk kind of money. Do you understand? All these fucking billionaires. That's what I'm talking about. Like there's this post I saw on Twitter where because of how the immigrants have been completely overwhelmed and arrested, and just like most of the immigrants are, even the ones that have not even the ones that have not yet been arrested, all of them, they are in hiding. Everybody's scared of coming out. Because nobody wants to get deported. America is a land of opportunity. America is a place where, regardless of how imperfect it is, people would leave their homelands. People will pass through the desert just to like get to America, just so that they can have, like I said before, that it's not everybody that like this whole dystopianness isn't affecting everybody. There are still people that there are still people with prospects in their eyes. There are still people that want to make something out of themselves. But the unfortunate thing is that world has passed. You understand? That world has passed. You cannot, it's not, as in, it's rare. It's very, very rare now for you to come from your country and, want to work menial jobs, or want to like work in America and then think that you're going to, make. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's rare. Do you understand? So because immigrants now have been arrested by ICE, and most of them are deported, and the rest of them are in hiding because they are scared of coming out. The jobs in America, like farm jobs or manufacturing jobs, or all these jobs that white people feel too superior to do. Do you understand? Like, God, these jobs that white people feel too superior to do are now like vacant, and nobody's wanting to take those jobs. The white people don't even want to do it because they want more. If they are going to do it, first of all, they don't want to do it. White people don't want to work in factories. They don't want to work in farms. They don't want to be picking cotton. They don't want to be picking grapes. They don't want to be picking food. They don't want to be feeding horses or cows or any of that nonsense, or any of that quote unquote hard nonsense that the Mexicans have been used to doing, because they are the modern day slaves. Do you understand? The Mexicans are modern day slaves. The white people don't want to do those jobs because, first of all, it will require them to get paid more. Do you understand? It will require the white people to get paid more, and the employers of these companies, like the farms and the factories and stuff like that, don't want to pay more. That is why they hired illegals in the first place. They hired them so that they can pay them less and not give them any benefits like healthcare or paid maternity leave or any of all those other benefits that in a sane world would be the logical thing to do, right? So the line between the rich and the poor has become so vast. You understand? It has become so wide that even the white people that don't even want to do the menial jobs that are already guaranteed for them. You see people, what people are doing now is like, most people now are online influencers. Most people are going into online content creation. A lot of people now are, you see, there are niches for content creation. You see people that are into that make content creation that is focused on food or focused on music, or like there is so much. Most of the jobs now that people are trying to, the dominant, or should I say the prominent ways now that people are trying to make ends meet is like to make content creation. Everybody is now trying to be a content creator. Everybody's trying to be a TikToker. Everybody's trying to be a YouTuber. Everybody's trying to be an Instagram influencer. Everybody is trying to be a Twitch streamer. Everybody is just trying to be a podcaster. Everybody, everything is going online. Nobody wants to, as in, it feels like we are leaving this our physical world behind. It feels like we are this our current generation, right? We are, as in, to me what it's looking like is that eventually everything is going to be digital. Eventually we are going to transition into a digital world where we're going to transition into a virtual world where everything will be so real and so elegant and so beautiful and so, like in Ready Player One, right? Or in that, what is the name of that in this thing? Love, Death and Robots, the episode where Hugh Jackman was captured by that spider alien woman thing, and that kind of blood and distorted his reality into making him think that he was in this beautiful surrounding, this beautiful spaceship, and she was very beautiful and very hot, that kind of virtual reality where everything basically the Matrix. Why was I even trying to over explain when I had something so easy to I could just use to buttress my points? The Matrix, basically, eventually we are all going to, we are all going to be victims. I'm not even going to say part. We are all going to be victims of the Matrix, where we'll be living in this virtual world where, in fact, for example, now in Roblox, you can pay for you can pay for digital clothing. Like you can pay real money to buy digital clothing and to like, make your character look the way that you want your character to look like, for like in Ready Player One. Do you understand? That is actually happening right now as I'm speaking to you. But it's just that the vast majority of the world, like everybody else in the whole world, have not yet transitioned into that, should I say community, or transitions into that aspect of life. We're all getting ready. Like if you look at the way things are going right now, the way everybody is just trying to become to work online. Even people don't even pay. There are no the brick and mortar offices that we have these days are kind of like dwindling and reducing. Everybody's like working from home because it's more convenient to work from home. Thanks to COVID. That COVID did that for us. So it's more convenient and easy, do you understand? And frankly efficient to work from home. And so everybody's kind of like more people are gradually giving up their physicality. More people are gradually giving up what it means to be human, just so that they can exist in this virtual world, just so that they can have a place, just so that they can have a seat in this virtual world, because nobody wants to be a fool again. You understand? In the past, people, when Bitcoin came out newly, and everybody was laughing at it, you understand? Nobody took it seriously until it became what it is today. And now most people feel like they are fools for, not having invested in Bitcoin when it came out, at its inception. So nobody wants to be a fool again. That's why you see people falling for all these cryptocurrency scams. That's why I see people falling for the NFT scams. That's why I see people falling for a lot of things online that they feel will make them quick millionaires, will make them fast money. Even like this is just to show you how fucked up the entire world is, man. This is just to tell you how fucked up and how dystopian the entire world has become. Like the powers that be, they are the ones that are causing these things. They are the ones that are doing these things. They are the ones that are feeding us these technologies. Like in the past, right? Like all these should I say advanced technologies used to be classified. It used to take time for them to even admit that they exist. But these days they just push it out. Like look at something like AI now. Like we are in this AI pandemic now, where everybody is just clamoring to be part of this AI revolution. You understand? Everybody's coming out with their own version of AI. Everybody's coming out with their own meaning of what it means to have AI. Do you understand? Everybody wants to be part of it. The AI movies now are become so good, so good that I don't even think that I said this in my previous episode. I don't even think that Hollywood is going to exist in like 5 years time because of how good these things have become. So everybody just wants to be part of this online identity. Everybody wants to have an online identity, and it's scary to think that it's inescapable. It's scary to think that there is no way that you can stop it. I've looked at it in the only way that can help, or the only way that can help to reset this game and to take us back to a time when things were a lot more sensible, when things were sane, when we're on the right path. Because right now it doesn't feel like we're on the right path. It doesn't feel like we are heading towards, natural progression. It feels like everything is speeding up, and everything is like, moving so fast, and we have lost our brakes, and we don't have the time to react. We don't have the time to think. We don't have the time to stop and ask and question and look back and try to understand what the fuck is going on. Like nothing makes sense anymore. Like if you look at the way the world is going, like nothing makes sense. Nothing is sacred anymore. Even nothing is sacred. I don't even believe in God, but the whole religion thing is not even sacred anymore. Like a lot of people make fun of it. Like I feel like most of the religious leaders they know within themselves, they know deep in their hearts that the God does not even exist. So they're now using it to make money. They're now using it to become famous. They're now using it to be influential. They're now using it for their own selfish gains, and the gullible people don't even know what is going on. They're just falling for it. They're just falling for its hook, line, and sinker. Like nothing is sacred. Even our so like there's this one thing. There's something I want to talk about, right? Like we have intellectuals. We have all these people that are trying to call out the narrative or trying to like call out the mainstream media, like people call it the Rogan verse, like Joe Rogan's universe, right? Where we have these conservatives that, you know, are calling out the mishandling of the in the COVID situation that happened 5 years ago. So they're calling out mainstream media for how they mishandled COVID and how they like lied to people and stuff like that. And so the fact that they're calling out the mainstream media now kind of makes them bastions of truth and, you know, of morality and truth. And but what I've got, and for a while I bought that, do you understand? For a while I bought the lie that, oh, there are people that are still willing to tell the truth, even though a lot of people are going to go against them, even though they don't care what happens to them. Do you understand? But recently I've come to realize that they are all grifters. None of them, like, they are all the same, both the mainstream media, both the Joe Rogan, people like what is his name, Jordan Peterson. Like, Jordan Peterson was somebody that I used to look up to. Do you understand? I used to consider him, even though he has helped a lot of people, it is undeniable that he has helped a lot of people, right? It is undeniable that he has changed a lot of lives with his books, like the 12 Rules for Life and the rest of all the books that he has written, and his lectures and the interviews that he gives and all of, like, initially he used to be somebody that, you know, to the best of my knowledge, wanted, you know, young men to do better, wanted things, life to be better and fair for everybody. And he didn't want to like go against the grain and talk about things that were not true, or call a woman that is claiming to be, or call a woman that is claiming to be a man, or call a man that is claiming to be a woman. Like, he didn't want to, like, he didn't want to be part of that. But if you look into the abyss long enough, the abyss will look back. And woe unto you if you fall. Like, if you allow yourself to get absorbed by the darkness. There are people, a lot of people, for as long as human beings have existed, a lot of people have taken up the mantle to be the heroes, to be the bastions of truth, to be the leaders of morality, to be the ones that say what everybody else is afraid of saying, to be the ones that call out the government, and to be the ones that call out the corruptness and the inhumanity and all of that. But at the end of the day, you see that human beings are inherently flawed. We human beings, we are inherently flawed. We are, like, you know, we are inherently flawed. That is just the best way I can say it. And whoever amongst us that comes out and tries to, you know, prop himself up to be this person that is, you know, flawless and, you know, without, you know, any flaws, or without any skeletons in their cupboards, or without any, you know, like, just whoever comes out to try to be the hero of the day, do you understand, eventually ends up being the villain, because of the fact that human beings are inherently flawed. And eventually you're going to show yourself, you're going to show your true self, you're going to make a mistake, and everybody's going to see you for who you really are. So there was this interview, I'm sure everybody knows about the interview, the Jubilee interview, where Jordan Peterson was like, you know, he was surrounded by like 20 atheists, and he didn't even want to admit that he was a Christian. He was just blabbing, like, his whole take on Christianity, his whole take on religion, his whole take on the idea of God has not made as much sense as he wants it to make. Like, most people understand what he's trying to say, but at the end of the day, it doesn't align with reality. Do you understand? Like, for example, one example I want to give is when people talk about how our reality is a simulation and nothing is actually real, and if it's a simulation, we are not actually going to know that it's a simulation because of how real it is. The question I always ask myself is, how about like the people in like third world countries, or the people in countries like, for example, Libya, where slavery still exists, or people that are going through some kind of physical disorder, or have some kind of disease, or are going through like sheer absurd poverty, and they don't even, countries like Burundi, like the poorest country in the world, Burundi, holy fucking shit, there's this documentary I watched about Burundi, bro. God, Burundi is poor. Is fucking poor. So you cannot tell me that now. You cannot tell me that you cannot tell me that life is a simulation, and me that I'm choosing to enter this simulation, I'll choose to, to have that as my I'll choose to have that kind of experience. I'll choose to have an experience of being poor, or I'll choose to have an experience of being a slave, or I'll choose to have an experience of having a hard and difficult life. So that is one of the reasons why I don't even believe, or I cannot believe that we're in a simulation, because that doesn't make sense. Because there are people that are actually going through hell as you're in your comfortable air conditioned office, and you're a fucking intellectual thinking that life is a simulation or whatever. So his whole understanding of religion, or his whole understanding of God is so esoteric and so superficial and so surface level, even though he's trying his best to make it deep. It's so that way that it does not align with reality, because in the real world, in this our real world, there are people that are being affected physically. There are people that are being affected directly by their belief. There are people that are being affected directly by what they think the idea of God is, and it affects their life, it affects their life deeply, and for real. So when he didn't want to admit that, first of all, whether he's a Christian or not, he just I had already been having problem with him, because of the fact that I came to understand that he's somebody that just loves the sound of his own voice. He likes to talk. He likes to cut people off. He does not, he always he always talks about listening to, understand, not listening to reply. He has said that a lot of times, but then the reality of it is that he does not listen to understand. He always listens, and he does not even allow the person to finish whatever it is that they're saying. He cuts them off, and people are too. This is what I mean by when I say human beings are malleable, and human beings are easy to scam, and human beings are easy to deceive. They want to be his friend so bad. They want to be on his good side. They want to suck his balls. They want to suck his dick so hard that they don't call him out for cutting them off. And it annoys me. Whenever I listen to his podcast and he cuts people off and they don't do anything about it, it fucks with me, and I'm like, why? It means that these people are not genuine. These people are not actually here to talk about. They are not actually here to try to bring a solution to the problems that we have in this world. They are just talking. They are just the new talking heads. In the past, our parents used to listen to the news. They used to read magazines, and they used to whatever was on the television was taken to be facts. Whatever was on the TV was taken to be facts. But these days, we have the internet, and we have podcasts, and we have YouTube, and these new mediums of media are our new they are our new television. It's just like the same thing that our parents had. You understand? It's just like the old form of media, like television and radio and magazines. In our own time, this is our own form of media. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that because somebody can sit down with you for 3 hours or 2 hours and talk casually and have casual conversations, it doesn't mean that what they are saying is actually true. Or it doesn't mean that, not even, it might actually be true, but it doesn't mean that they are being genuine. It doesn't mean that they have genuine motive for wanting to bring this thing, to shed light on this situation. It might just mean that, or not even that, it might just mean, what I am beginning to observe more and more is that these people are grifters. It is a job for them. Do you understand? It is a way of making money. And so if like me now, I've talked about how I don't want my podcast to be something that I have to do because I'm making money from it, and because it is now my job, and I'm making money from it, and I don't know, I just don't want it to be that. I want to talk about issues. I want to be true. Do you understand? I want to say the truth. I want to bring I want to bring people's attention to problems that might not be noticeable, or problems that people are overlooking, or situation or things that people are not really thinking deeply about. You understand? I don't want to be a grifter. I don't want to like talk about the latest thing that is happening, or give my opinion and try to be so intellectual about it, and try to, talk about how this one I read about, this one I know about, this one, this guy said this one, I'm quoting this guy. Like, I don't want to be that kind of, I don't want to be that. Do you understand? I don't want my platform to, because we have a lot of that these days. And if you kind of like open your eyes a bit wider, you see that most of our prophets are scams. They are prophets. I call them prophets because it's a new religion. Like, this is like podcasting and media. I'm sure I've talked about this before. What is the name of this book? American Gods. In the book American Gods, like, they had the old gods and the new gods. Do you understand? Old gods like Odin, Jesus, like all the normal old gods, right? And then the new gods are media, music, internet, war, guns. So these are new gods, and we are worshiping these new gods. But that's why I call these people prophets. That's why I call them prophets. And these prophets are beginning to look to me like they are scams, they are shams, they are fake. Do you understand? Because they are not doing, like, for example, now I'm reducing my interest in Joe Rogan, because it's beginning to feel like, oh, this person also, that I used to think that, oh, this person is just like, he talks about, working hard. He talks about, being accountable for yourself. He talks about the truth about the media and COVID-19. He talks about things that I've always found to be interesting. He's now beginning to feel like, oh, so you too, you've been captured by them too. You've been captured. You're not also real. You're not also genuine too. Like, who then is genuine? Like, if everybody has an ulterior motive, if everybody has something in it for themselves that they are trying to gain, something selfish that they're trying to achieve, so who then is now genuine? Who then can you trust? That's the question I've been asking myself lately. Like, who then can you trust? It doesn't seem like there is nobody now. It doesn't seem like there is anybody now that can be trusted, because there is nothing to trust. Everybody has an ulterior motive. There is no real love in this world. There is no real genuine understanding. Everybody just wants to. Everybody, even people that are calling out the establishment, people that are calling out the establishment, doesn't mean that they are doing it for honest and truthful reasons. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to be relevant. Everybody wants to, everybody wants to be part of it all. You understand? So this is why I say that the elites have won. This is why I say that the Illuminati have won, because they have made us less than human. They have given us technology that we are not able to understand. Technology that has taken over our lives and is now controlling us. People have become mindless consumers. People have become senseless. People have become less than humans. People have become automatons. People have become robots. People don't know how to think anymore. People don't know how to reason anymore. There's this lesson. People don't know how to use common sense anymore. And it's scary. It's scary to imagine how it will look like, let me say 5 years from now. It's scary to imagine how it will look like 10 years from now. It's scary to imagine how the average human being would think. It's scary to imagine the mentality of the average human being 5 years from now. We have AI now that is now distorting the news. Like, AI has become so advanced that you have to have a keen eye for you to be able to detect if something is true or fake. And it's becoming increasingly difficult for you to detect if something is true or fake. It's wild, man. It's so fucking crazy. I don't even know. How do I even put it? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? They really won, man. They really, really won. They really won. They said they are going to take over the world. And the truth of another thing you have to understand is that the elites are all in it together. Regardless of whether you think they are different, or whether you think this one is a Democrat or is it a Republican, or is an Iranian, or this one is Russian, or this one is China. Like all of them, bro, all of them are in it. They all want control, and all of them are in it together. Because you see them, you see them beefing themselves online. You see them disagreeing with themselves on television, online, but then you see them chilling together when they meet, when they go for any of those their useless summits that they always attend. You see them chilling together like nothing happened. I mean, look at the what they call it. Look at the beef between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Nobody knows if that was a joke. Nobody knows if they were just trolling. That is to show you how psychopathic these people are. That's to show you, that's to tell you and to show you how psychopathic these people are, man. They don't care. They don't have shame. They don't have any they don't have a sense of self-reflection. They just know, as in what they just want is power. Twitter now, as in, I remember when all these podcasters, like these conservative manosphere, kind of like right wing podcasters used to talk about how Elon was so cool and Elon was so intelligent for buying Twitter. Like, and I never made any attempts, or I never even talked about it, because like it just didn't make sense to me. Like, everybody was thinking that, oh, he's buying Twitter because he wants to preserve free speech. He wants to preserve the ability to say your mind without being cancelled, or without being censored, or without being, ridiculed and stuff like that. But that is not the, I mean, there is a hint of truth to that, because I mean, that's basically what Twitter is right now. Anybody can say whatever they want to say without anybody can say whatever they want to say. Yes, we have community notes that occasionally call people out and correct people and tell everybody that, oh, this person is lying, or this information that this person is like spewing out is incorrect. Do you understand? But then again, that is no way. As in, we see like Twitter, there are a lot. He said he was going to, remove the bots that they have on Twitter, but yet we have bots on Twitter. Like, it's just so insane. People say stuff. Like, the fact that you have free speech doesn't mean that you're just entitled to say anything. Like, at least reason first of all before you talk. Say the truth. Like, just because you have free speech doesn't mean that you have to lie. You understand? And say, oh, you have free speech and stuff. No. At least you see people lying. People like misinformation should not be regarded as free speech, right? I mean, am I crazy for thinking that? Like, you see people literally dropping misinformation on Twitter. You have to like really, first of all, you have to care about it. Me personally, first of all, I have to care about it before I even like have to really check to know if this person is lying. You see people just reposting people's stuff because it's that easy. Like, there is no originality again. Like I said before, there is no sense of sacredness. There is no sense of there's no common sense again. There's no common sense. Everybody feels like they can do whatever the fuck they want to do without any consequences. The world has gone mad. There is this African saying that he who the gods want to kill, the first make mad. And right now, bruv, the world has gone completely mad. And I don't know how we are going to get out of this. The best way I think that we can, that we can go back to a time when things are a bit coherent and when things are, like kind of a little bit sensible, is if there happens to be some kind of nuclear war where, there's a nuclear bomb that drops, or there's like kind of like an EMP device that is like deployed and it affects every electronic in the whole world, and people have to like resort back to using analog devices and relying on physical stuff, because everything now is going digital so fast and it's not good for human beings. It's not good for human beings. I mean, imagine that there is an EMP nuclear bomb that goes off and it destroys every electric car, it destroys every iPhone, it destroys every PC, it renders AI useless, it's like destroys every smartwatch, every smartphone, every smart TV, every smart fridge. Like why do we have smart fridges? There's this job I went to the other day where I went to like fix mosquito nets in their windows. And then they had like I saw for the first time actually in my life a smart fridge, and I'm like, why? What does this fridge do for you? Right, that's your normal, like like the fridge that we had, that old fridges can't do. Like this is the point. Another point I want to make is that this is another point I'm coming. I want to talk about. Like things have become, to continue to buttress on what I was saying earlier about how things have become so bleak and so uninspiring and stale and insipid. If you compare the way things used to be made in the past to the way they're now being made in the future, most things are now so minimalistic. Just that they come out with like the barest minimum of it, like the barest function of it. Like you see cars that are made today and they just have like the barest things. Like yes, some cars have for like the technology is very, very good though. The technology is very, very good, but compared to old cars, but there is no soul in it. Like if you compare an old fridge, like a fridge that was made like in the 80s, to all these are useless smart fridges today, those things were done by craftsmen. Those things were done by people that had good intentions, that were creative, that had intention of the fridge lasting a very long time. Do you understand? Until this whole idea of planned obsolescence was like whispered into the ears of CEOs and manufacturers, and whispered into their ears by demons, honestly, by demons. And now most things that they manufacture have been designed not to last so that people can be able to buy more. They are not, I don't like this, the fucking, like if you look at stuff that was made in the past and compare it to things that are being made today, you can see like there's a vast, even houses, even architecture, clothes, shoes, like a lot of things, man. Most technologies that we had in the past are a lot, even though they might not be as efficient, but they were made with good intentions. They were made to last. Not as in they were designed with creativity in mind. They were designed with love in mind. You understand? They are designed to make life, as in life was a lot colorful back then. There was a lot of colors back then. Things you see, things that, as in there was a lot of colors back then. There was just a lot of, as in, heft to things that were produced in the past. But today everything feels so cheap and so light and so minimalistic and so white and so beige and uninspiring and doesn't last. It's not going to last. It's not going to last because there's a new one coming out very soon. Like there's iPhone 17 that is coming out. Like why is iPhone 17 coming out? Like what is it going to do for you that maybe your iPhone 13 cannot do for you, or your iPhone 12 or even your 10 self cannot even do for you? Like what is it going to do for you? There's this new iOS that came out, the whole liquid glass stuff that came out. Like everybody, it looks so, as in, it feels like there was a time when there were aliens that were overseeing the technology that human beings, as in there were aliens that were in charge of giving human beings technology, but those aliens have gone. Not even only technology, it seems like there was a time where human beings were connected to the divine, right? And so because they were connected to the divine, they were receiving a lot of creativity. They were receiving a lot of information, a lot of very, very beautiful ideas from this divine, from whatever this divine is. And so they were like dispersing those ideas and dispersing those forms of creativity and dispersing those technology and all those things that they were creating. They are dispersing it in the form of music, in the form of media, in the form of like technology, in the form of food, in the form of like it touched every aspect of life, and everything was was cool and everything was fine. But then something happened somewhere and somehow, and human beings lost touch with this divine. And maybe we felt like we are maybe it felt like maybe we felt like we knew we had gotten to a point where we knew better than the divine. We could do better than the divine, and so we didn't need the help of the divine anymore. And so we now decided that we're going to do it ourselves, and it's showing. Like it couldn't be more apparent that we are doing it like we are doing it on our own, like we are doing it ourselves, because it doesn't seem like it looks like there is nothing new that we are creating. We are not creating anything new. If as in the only new thing that we are creating is something that is destroying us, which is AI, is something that has the potential more than the potential to destroy us. But aside that, if you think back, we haven't created any new thing. We haven't created any new thing in a long time. We just keep regurgitating the old stuff and trying to give it facelifts, trying to pimp it and trying to make it look newer and better, but it's still the same old thing. Like, let me give you one example. Look at the F-22 Raptor, right? This is an aircraft. This is like an aircraft that was developed in the 80s, and to the best of my knowledge, it first flew in that was in 1997, right? Yeah. That was when it first flew. And till today, that is the most advanced fighter jet that the world has ever seen. That is the most advanced fighter jet the world has ever seen. The F-22 fucking Raptor it's the best. It's first of all, it is beautiful. The jet is fucking beautiful. It is so aesthetically pleasing to look at, but yet it's so fucking dangerous. It's fast. Who are you? The US does not sell that jet to any country in the world. The USA is the only country that has the F-22 fucking Raptor, because they know how special it is. Because I feel like there was a connection to the divine when they were creating that jet. That is how fucking cool this jet. It rules the skies. It will forever rule the skies as long as we are no longer in connection to the divine. It will rule the skies until we connect to the divine again, and we are able to make something that can beat the F-22. But because we are no longer connected to the divine, right, we made the F-35. The F-35 has been a problematic aircraft since its inception. It tries to be the jack of all trades, but it fails at all of them. And yes, the USA has sold it to the UK. I think the UK has F-35. I think Saudi Arabia has also. I think if I'm not mistaken, India has F-35 also. Right? This is how, because it's not special. It's not that special. There was no connection to the divine when they were making it. When they made the F-35, it's just lazy and fat and sluggish, and it's not. That is the point I'm trying to make. When we lose connection to the divine, to what the fuck am I talking about? When we lose connection to the divine, right? We tend to lose a lot, basically. We tend to lose originality. We tend to lose connection to originality. We tend to lose connection to original ideas. I mean, look at movies. We just keep regurgitating and rehashing old movies as if nostalgia, as if we are being poisoned with nostalgia. Instead of them to create new movies that have original ideas and that come with original IP, they keep remaking old stuff. Why are you remaking an old? What you see? Who said that it is wise to create? As in, there are movies that are coming out that are going to come out that, as in, were done in the past, and they were done very well in the past. For example, let me give you one example that comes off the top of my head, Lion King, right? Why, or should I say Lilo and Stitch? Imagine making Lilo and Stitch a live action movie. Like the whole idea of Lilo and Stitch was because it was colorful, because it was, as in the way it was directed, like the way the cartoon was directed, it was so creative and so colorful and so, relatable. Because when you were a child, we always had vivid imaginations as children, and our imaginations were filled with monsters and colors and scenarios and stuff like that. And that's how that movie was. It was almost psychedelic, right? And then you see them remaking Lilo and Stitch today, and then you watch the movie and you're like, what am I even watching? Like, what am I looking at? Wouldn't it have been better for you to take this budget, right, and look for some unknown writer, or look for some unknown creative director, or look for look for somebody with an original idea and with a story from the heart that he wants to tell, and give him the budget to make the movie. And like, they are just being like, Hollywood is like, Hollywood does not want to make, like, Hollywood, the whole idea is that they don't want to lose money, and so that's why they are playing it safe by making movies that they think people want. But at the end of the day, they end up losing money because nobody wants what they are giving. Nobody wants what they are shoving out. People want originality. Like I talked about how everybody is so depressed and everybody is so dreaded, and we are just existing in this dystopian reality without any, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And so people just want to feel something that, can connect them to the divine, that can make their lives a little bit, as in, make their lives worth living, make their existence, to make their existence to be fucking bearable. And these elites are giving us, are creating stupid movies that continues to make life, or should I say, makes this experience, if it's a simulation, just tasteless, and makes the experience bad, basically. So everything is just fucked up. Everything is just fucked up at the end of the day. It's crazy. And I continue to ask the question, like, how is it that every single, like, in all the most countries in the world, all the leaders of those countries are corrupt? Like, how is that even a thing? How is it a thing that in most countries the leaders are corrupt? They just want to steal money. They just want to hoard wealth and power, and they don't care. To me, my interpretation of that is that actual literal demons have invaded our ocean. They might not even be demons, but they are demonic. Maybe they are aliens or something. They are invaders of the body snatchers that have invaded our planet and taken over, because they are intelligent enough to know how to take over the world effortlessly. They've put themselves in positions of power, and so they just want to, like, chill. Or maybe, as in, I don't know, that's just the best interpretation of it I can give, because they just want to chill and just make themselves more and more money and make themselves richer and more powerful without caring for anybody else. Because tell me why somebody like Donald Trump, during his campaign, he was talking about how he's going to end wars and he's going to bring peace, and everybody believed him. And now he has, like, he has dropped bombs on Iran, even though Iran as a country, the Ayatollahs, they are not good people. They are evil, and they don't deserve respect. They don't deserve sympathy. Like, as in, to an extent, maybe Donald Trump is right, because it would be good for the Ayatollahs to, be removed, to be eradicated, so that the people of Iran can for once in their lives be free. Because those people, they are not free. They are going through hell all the time because of the kind of chokehold that the Ayatollahs have on them. You understand? So, but in countries like, let me say, Israel, like the Israel that we have today, is not the same Israel that was talked about in the Bible. They are two different things. In fact, if the God of the Bible is even real and he comes back today, like, he will not, like, what people understand to be Israel today, and most of them who are Christians think that it is the same as what was in the Bible. It's just not true. This is a different machine. This is a different thing altogether. And they are not real. The what is that his name? Benjamin Netanyahu. He's not real. The same way that what is his name? Tinubu is not like the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, right? There is this video I saw of him where he was like talking about his classmates from the university he supposedly attended in California. I'll be proud of him because of something that happened. But then the guy that he was talking about was arrested on drug charges, right? The person that he was just like the person that he was, vibing with was arrested on drug charges. Now, the question I want to ask is this, then it came out that, it couldn't have been possible for Tinubu to be classmates with the person because he would have been too old for that. Do you understand? So now there have been posts in the past, there have been articles in the past that talk about how Tinubu his whole identity is false, is a lie. His whole identity of where he went to school, his name, where he grew up, his hometown, the schools that he went to, everything about him is a lie. Every single thing about this guy is a lie. So my question now is that, why is nobody taking that seriously? Why is that just a passing, should I say, just a passing information that people, just glance at and not think much about? Why is it that we don't know the real age of Tinubu? We don't know where he grew up. I'm sorry about my voice. We don't know where he grew up. We don't know his hometown. We don't know any origins. We don't have any concrete or any factual information about him. He's just somebody that just happened to pop out of nowhere, most likely hell, just popped out of hell and landed in Nigeria and decided that, okay, this is where this will be his territory and this is where he's going to cause chaos. Why is nobody taking it upon themselves to look into the origins of this Bola Ahmed Tinubu guy, to know who he really is and where he really came from and his background and everything about him, basically? Why is nobody doing that? So this is why I think that most of the world leaders today are demons, or should I say aliens, invaders of body snatchers that have come to our planet and ruined everything, giving us technologies that we are incapable of handling and made us docile and made us zombies and made us to be these lonely fucking rats and put us in boxes and put us in groups and made us fucking stereotypes and all of this dumb shit that is going on in this world now. The world is a sad place, is dreadful, is bleak, is dystopian. The wealth gap is increasing every single day. People are everybody is just struggling to survive, and the best way now that people think is good enough for them to survive is to make content creation and to go online and to become podcasters and to become influencers and all of this nonsense, which is just sad. We're not supposed to be this disconnected from nature. We're not supposed to be this disconnected from each other. We're not supposed to be this disconnected to be this lonely and to be this isolated. And the worst part is that I don't know how this can be turned around. I don't know how we can change this direction, this road that we are headed on, this cliff that we are heading towards. I don't know how we can turn it around for our benefit. But I just hope that something happens eventually, man. I just hope so, because if it doesn't, this is the end. We are the last of the Mohicans, whereby we remember what it used to be like in the past. And we long for it, and we are scared, and we are dreadful of what the future has, what the future holds. So yeah, that's all I have today, man. That's all I can say for today. If you listened to this point, Thank you for chilling with me. If you found this if you found this exciting, I know it's not exciting. It's not exciting. It's not exciting. It's bleak, man. It's fucking dark. But if you found it entertaining, regardless, thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for giving me your listening ears. Share it with people you think might also find it interesting. And don't forget to like and subscribe because that helps me out a lot. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. Everybody's trying to be an online content creator, me included. I'm not denying that. So yeah, also follow me on Twitter at General Prime One. Rate the podcast on Spotify, and yeah, that's all I have to say. That's that about that, man. Thank you guys for chilling with me, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. All right, bye everybody.